Welcome to Business as a Magical Practice, where your business is the vehicle for your self-integration and soul evolution. My name is Sam Garcia, and I'm the founder of Dirty Alchemy Digital Marketing. And I'll be guiding you through how you can use your business as a spiritual practice and what magical businesses are doing to hit their goals and change the world. Together, we'll be relating the mystical to the world of business so that our work can unite spirit and matter, shadow and light, conscious and unconscious. Let's dive in. Hey everyone, I am really excited to welcome to the Business as a Magical Practice podcast, Teresa Buckner of Soul Journey Priestess. So Teresa is an intuitive guide who offers support on your journey of self-discovery and spiritual awakening. She's a conduit that helps you awaken your process of unbecoming your conditioning. She guides with human design, Reiki-based energy flow, breathwork, and transcendent tapping meditation, her own brand of somatic energy release. So welcome to the podcast, Teresa.
Thank you so much, Sam. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, excited to be here. You're here too. So one thing I wanted to just dive into first was your brand is called Soul Journey Priestess, and that's just a very specific thing. So I'd like to hear how that came about and what's the story behind Soul Journey Priestess?
Yeah. Well, we had done a guided meditation in ABI, and it was getting to the soul of your business. And at that time, my business was Energy Lotus Healing Arts. And I knew that that business was ready to grow up and be something else. So we did that meditation, and I was thinking, okay, who do you want to be now? What do you want to be? That was one night. And then I woke up the next day and was driving into work, and just out of nowhere, the name Soul Journey Priestess just whooshed into my mind, and I nearly drove off the road. And I'm like, oh my gosh, is that you? Yeah, that's you. And I got to work, and I'm like, please let the domain be open. Let it be mine. And it was. And so began Soul Journey Priestess. And it was interesting because I knew where I was and what time it was, obviously what day it was. And so I even had a natal chart for Soul Journey Priestess, and I'm like, wow, you're made for this. So it's pretty cool. Yeah.
And I think you've mentioned before that it's an archetype.
That's what I've come to about it. I thought, okay, am I Soul Journey Priestess? Are they Soul Journey Priestess? What are you? And she's been kind of cryptic about it, but I think that, yeah, it's an archetype. It's something that any of us can step into. It certainly helped me in the past 8 months since I've been the curator of Soul Journey Priestess. I think it's us stepping into the power that we have to create our lives and drop the like I said, the unbecoming process, drop the things that we've taken on from other people or from just the process of living a human existence and trying to survive that way, and get just more clear about who we are and just being. It's just a way to embody that in whatever flavor that is for you. You're a Soul Journey Priestess. I'm a Soul Journey Priestess, but we're different, kind of like the Spice Girls. You could be your brand and I can be mine. So, yeah.
And one of the things you mention in your bio, which is a term that I hadn't heard before, which is Transcendent tapping meditation. I'm assuming it has some relation to EFT tapping, but am I right? And
yes, definitely. Yes. I started to use EFT tapping with myself a couple of years ago and found phenomenal results to let go of things that I'd held on to for so long. And then when I started to work with clients, I noticed that even when they're talking about traumatic events, they're tapping, and then they're done. And they're just looking at me, and it's it didn't break the ice. It didn't get there. The key with EFT tapping is feel it. We spend so much time avoiding the things that hurt, so we don't want to feel it, and then it gets stuck in your body and in your energetic field. So instead of talking about all of the feelings, I have people go into their body and ask questions with their eyes closed, because it's so much easier. People don't have to like look at you directly, and feel where that is, that thing that they were talking about, that trauma. What's it look like? What's it feel like? All of that. And then start taking them back and back and back. When was the first time you felt that? When, how does that come up now? Let's talk about it farther and farther. And then people just like spontaneously cry and they get it out. And then they open their eyes and they're like, it's gone. I'm like, yes, it is. So it's just a gentler way to like flush that stuff out, so that you can replace it better.
Yeah, it makes so much sense, because like from what I understand with EFT, because I'm not trained in EFT. I'm like person who like goes on YouTube and just watches some, like follows along with someone else.
Yeah.
But I use it a lot. And from what I understand, you're like moving through the meridian points on your body to like move energy. So of course, if you can't feel the emotions, which is like such kinetic energy, like of course, like nothing's actually moving.
Right. If we're just talking right now and we're talking about this thing that just hurts so much, we haven't given our bodies like a release valve for that. But when you're tapping, you're actually putting your body, you're taking your body out of fight or flight, and you're convincing your body that it's safe. And then when you feel it, you're not going through like this circuit of feeling the trauma again. You're letting it out, because your body feels safe. Your brain feels safe to go ahead and do it. So so sometimes if you're just following along, it's like, okay, well, that didn't really work. So
well, okay. Let's actually scoop back a second, just because I would actually think we've talked about EFT on the podcast before. Like, can we do like a quick little like what is tapping for listeners who may not know?
Okay, it's kind of like, I guess you could call it energetic acupuncture without the needles. You tap, you have a setup statement, you have an issue, a pain, a memory, something like that, and then you have a setup statement. Even though I feel embarrassed about blank, I still deeply and completely love and accept myself. So you're allowing.
Teresa's tapping on her, like the side of her hand right now, if you're listening and not watching on YouTube. So like she was just saying that setup on the side of her, tapping the side of her.
Yeah. There we go. It's really a beautiful thing too, because you're saying, even though this is happening in my life, or I felt this, or I experienced this, I still love myself. So it's just this wonderful thing to be able to do. And so you do that, and then we're tapping on the different points, and you talk about the negative, and the more you can feel into it, it's so embarrassing. Oh my gosh, I think I'm going to just cry about this. It just hurts so much. You tap until you can get that down. You can feel it better. You can feel the emotion subsiding. You can, tap and tap circuits of it until it feels better. So.
And again, for people who are listening, not watching, and don't know what EFT is, there's like a very standard procedure of which points of your body you're tapping on as you're going through and talking through a sequence of like the feelings and the emotions and the things that come up and the different phrases you say. Like you can just look on YouTube, like like EFT, or like just like find a picture. It'll show a little picture of like all the different points. Or do you have any videos or anything up with
I don't
EFT?
Not up right now. Yeah, no, not up right now.
Coming soon. No.
Coming soon. Yeah. We will talk about that later. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I think EFT is so cool, but I absolutely resonate with what you're saying of like sometimes you don't feel anything. So I just assumed like, well, it's working under the surface, like something must be happening. Yeah. But it's cool to hear you as an expert saying there's that, like you should be feeling something. If you're not, then you have to like be doing something different. So
yeah. And it's safe to express it. It's safe to feel it while you're tapping. Yeah. So.
And I'd love to another little phrase that felt really like a flashing light at me was somatic energy release. Can you explain a little bit about what that
Yeah.
is?
I think it's like what happens. Yeah. I think it's like what happens when you tap. You've got this sort of this stuck energy and you're releasing it from your body. You know, when we were younger and we had an embarrassing thing in class, whatever, or, you know, something at home and you couldn't express how you truly felt, that stuff gets stuck down there, right? And sometimes the repetitive patterns in our lives are because that was never expressed. So if you go back to that and you just acknowledge it and express it, let it have its day, feel it, it doesn't have to keep coming up in your life. It doesn't have to keep percolating up and becoming, oh, I'm dating that guy again. Oh, this is coming up again. This same argument. If you could take it back and get down to the root of it, you've released it. So, yeah.
Do you think that the piece around like the loving and accepting yourself as being a core element of it, do you think that is because of the nervous system and allowing your nervous system to release, or is it something different?
I think both, but I think also the setup statement there, it's allowing yourself to be a human, to be an perfectly imperfect, you know, that you don't have to have this high standard of I'm only good if I can only love myself if this doesn't happen. You can love yourself and have all this other crap going on in your life or feel like, you know, these things aren't good.
That reminds me of a big aha I had a couple years ago, was the idea that, oh, I can be successful and have a lot of shit happening in my life and like not be fully healed. And because I think a lot of people who come into this
Yeah.
space and like they're like, oh, I have to be perfect and only then can I have success, or I need to like
Right.
have like a completely cleansed body or else I won't be able to like access my psychic intuition. There's all of these like weird coupling, like over
Yes.
coupling we have in our psyches that are just like completely not true.
Right. I agree. I agree. Another thing about the setup statement is I also just pay attention when someone is saying that for the first time. Because if you're using EFT for an affirmation or whatever, if you listen to the part that goes, yeah, right, then pay attention to that because that's the thing you're really affirming. So in that case, if I see somebody who's like, who can't say it, and usually at this point now I'll ask, and it's like, no, I really can't say that. I'm like, could you be open to it? You know, so then we adjust that setup statement. I choose to be, I'm open to deeply and completely loving and accepting yourself. So that just kind of, you know, leaves the possibility there. And then moving into, you know, just saying, yeah, of course I do. So
So I'd love to hear transformations of clients that have done this, or like ways that this kind of work can be transformational as an entrepreneur, because the people listening were online business owners. So like how could we actually use this to help our own business life?
Oh yeah, let's see. To help the business life, let's say you're I don't know, having a block to being more visible, you know, just getting out there and promoting, you know, yourself as an expert or showing up on social media or however, you know, just going ahead. And even though I'm afraid to post on TikTok, I still deeply and completely love and accept myself, you know, and then that's saying that 3 times, tapping through on it makes me feel so vulnerable and really just being honest and just it's just like a stream of consciousness and you get all of that stuff out, do a round or 2 or 3 or 5, see how you feel, see what else is there, and then tap back through, go inside and see like, where do I feel that? Is that like in my throat? Is that in my head? Am I feeling that like in my core? Describe it and then just sit with it. And then when did I feel that before? How far back can I feel that? Did I feel that? And then usually you'll get back to, feeling embarrassed in middle school because X happened, and then that's the thing you really tap on. You let that little person, feel those feelings and let it out. So, and then you'd be surprised that, hey, I'm not so worried about, showing up anymore, or, feeling I'm not an expert or things like that. So, yeah.
So I'm hearing like visibility is a big one. I know like money blocks,
Money blocks. Oh boy. Yeah.
price increases, people pleasing clients, and or like being afraid of like setting boundaries with clients, working with time. I'm just like listening through things.
There's so much. Yeah. So much. Yeah. If you can think it, you can tap on it.
Well, it's funny you bring up visibility, because when I like realized I had to grow like a certain audience size in order to hit certain business goals that I had, like launch a program versus like just working one-on-one with people, I know video is the highest converting medium. And I had so much resistance to recording a video, like even a scripted video. Like I really didn't. It wasn't like I'm freezing and I'm having like a huge trauma response. It was just like, I'm just not going to do it. Right. I'm not going to make time for it. And I'm going to find other things to do. Yeah. And I did hypnosis on it, and it like completely in like EFT, like hits the same things. But it's interesting to work with clients now that are like have visibility issues and be like, man, there's like so much you can just transform with your subconscious. And I'm like, I can totally remember back to that time, and also how easy and effortless it was to transform it, and then being like, why was this ever a problem?
Yes. Oh my God. That is my favorite part of tapping with someone. That moment where it just disappears. I don't know if I'm like allowed to say it feels like magic, but it really does. It's like, wow, like I'm just feeling this and feeling this and feeling this. And then it's like they start laughing, or they're like, wait a minute. What am I tapping on? It's just like, it's really incredible. So yeah, it can just like that, in an instant disappear.
I love it. Okay. Yeah. So jumping conversations a little bit.
I know. Okay.
So from knowing you were in the inaugural class of the Alchemy Business Intensive. So like I have a little bit of like, I know the background of your story, but I just want to, something that recently came up in your business, at least a few months ago. So fairly recent in your business, you were following your projector design, and pretty much it led you on a path to doing a Reiki certification. And then like, it just, people were pouring in for your Reiki certification. It was just like so fucking out of nowhere. So I kind of want to hear like the magic of working with your design and like the actual story of it, just to like inspire people from that.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So I didn't even know what human design was when we started. And that was one of the questions, your sun sign, your moon sign, your rising sign, and your human design. And I'm like, wait, I know all that other stuff. I know my chart inside out. What's this human design thing? And then I learned what it was, and I went, oh my gosh, that explains my entire life, because I'm a projector, and I'm a self-projected projector. And I'm a 4/6 self-projected projector, which just like explains everything. And I went, oh, I'm not meant to work really hard. It's not that I'm lazy, but when you don't understand like the energy of you, like how you truly be, man, you beat yourself up trying to like live up to like something else. But it just went, wow, I'm okay just the way I am. And the less I work in the traditional like societal way, the more comes to me, okay, I'm going to give this a try, so, yeah, I quit my job. Remember in the beginning, I just went, okay, I think it's time to put my resignation in. And a week later I was gone. And then, wow. And so also with it being a projector, it's, the things that you love, the things that relax you, that fulfill you, and that's like, what you do. And I'm like, gosh, I love Reiki. I love energy healing. And I'm thinking, okay, I'm just going to go ahead and let people know that this is what I'm doing. And I had people come from Georgia up to North Carolina to have this weekend, and just all over. And it was fantastic, Sam. It was amazing. I held two. I held one in September, and then I held another one in October. And I knew it was going to be this transformational container, because I set the intention that this class is going to be the group equivalent of what I do one-on-one. And it was even better than I imagined. It was so amazing. Individually, their psychic powers just exponentially exploded, which is why I feel like I'm a conduit. I've been that way for clients, and now like in a group setting, it's like poof. I've got one girl who she started off with 9,000 followers on TikTok, and she just really like stepped into like her role after this. She's got 80,000 followers now. I mean, like crazy. Every single one of them is starting their own like business now, and it's just it's so satisfying to be able to help people on their journeys. So yeah. It's
well,
exciting.
and it's cool that a container can really hold energy, and that's like such a fun thing of working with groups versus one-on-one, because there's like a ton of power working one-on-one with people, and people can get really stuck on that because they think like, oh, I need to handhold people, or like they need my direct presence, or just like in order to make transformation. But actually stepping into group is if you learn how to do it right, or if like you're naturally gifted in that, then it's so powerful.
You hear that phrase, holding the space, and I was like, oh wow, I really get it. And I really get it now.
And how do you feel like living your design allowed you to get to that point?
Oh my gosh, living my design, because I let myself be guided by what I loved. And I stopped expecting myself to be a generator or to be a manifester. And people came to me. It was one email from a girl who said, hey, I saw you're a Reiki master. Do you do classes? And I'm like, I do. Ding, 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 an invitation, so just really like practicing that. And I don't think it's just projectors. If you're a generator and you hate your job, but you're still going to do it, you're depleting your generator energy, because it's nothing that fulfills you. It's not something that lights you up, so there's a reason why they call it an experiment too. You got to just try it, see how it works, and then try a little more and go, okay, this is good, until you just like fall into it. So yeah, if I kept pretending like I was a generator, I wouldn't have done those Reiki retreats. I would have thought, no, I should be doing this, or I should be doing that, or I don't have enough time. But I was like projector. I'm like, okay, that's an invitation. I'm going to do it.
That's so great. So how do you use human design with clients? Is it like a loose thing of guidance, or is it,
It is like for now, but so it'll be much more. I can already like see how I can put something together to help decondition people using EFT or transcendent tapping to work on the deconditioning process, to allow that to happen a little more gently and organically, to get through that deep conditioning stuff and to have like more rapid results, and then feeling more comfortable about your design. So I used to use astrology, and I love astrology, but wow, human design, it's more like a user's manual for yourself. So when I see that, I'm like, okay, I can see where we could start, and then I start asking the questions and seeing how that works with you, and then work on releasing that with the transcendent tapping. And I always follow up with Reiki, because we do the human stuff, feel those feels, and then get out of the way and let spirit, source, energy heal you. Yeah.
So I would love to know what lessons you've learned from how being an entrepreneur or a business owner has impacted you on a personal level, like what lessons you've learned and how you've grown.
Yeah. Being a business owner, an entrepreneur, is the most focused self-development course you could ever take.
Yeah.
Anything, any fear you have, any doubt you have, any block you have, you're going to find it. You're going to find it in committing to yourself and making something grow. So for me, those visibility issues that we were talking about have definitely come up for me. And money is the big thing. I don't know too many people who haven't at some point in their life had like a money block of some sort, So I think those are the two big ones. And trusting my voice, and that I express myself clearly and in a way that's helpful to people. So that's been a big thing too. And that probably comes from being a self-projected projector, because that's where my authority is. I don't feel it in my body. It's one of the outer authorities. I actually have to hear my truth when I speak. Oddly enough. Yeah. I can look back over my life and say all the times when there's been an issue with my voice, not being heard, having the teacher in 5th grade tell me I was tone deaf, and then saying, okay, well, I'm not going to sing, or just not using my voice. So it's usually the things that we resist that we, Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
so good. And then do you have any like rituals or daily practices you want to share that really support you and your work in the world?
Yes. Well, I do start the day off with tapping. It's
Every day?
it's a tapping. I do. It just, okay, I'm going to start off feeling balanced and centered, So let's see what else. I love Mercury right now. So my planetary deity work with Mercury, that communication thing we were talking about. Yeah, I think that's it right now. I kind of sample things. So,
Tapping.
but those are the consistent. Yeah. But those are the consistent things right now. So, yeah.
That's awesome. I'm a sampler too. So.
Are you? Yeah.
I'm like returning to past things and then leaving them. But I definitely, like, the last couple months I've been slacking and am feeling it. So I've brought stuff back in of like, oh yes, I need this stuff.
Yeah, I like this.
So do you have any advice for people who are business owners, but they're afraid to make the jump to switch to a more soul-aligned business, whether that's a little tweak in their business or them having to completely like start over?
I encourage you to do it. I mean, it's just, there's only like so much time you have, and do you want to spend it doing something that just doesn't fulfill you? There's money, but then is that worth you expending your energy creating something that you don't enjoy, creating a life that you don't enjoy? So yes, it's scary. And I'm actually helping a client right now with that, who she just got this like amazing job offer in Texas, but she knows she's walking right back into something she left. And it's the money thing. The choices we make up our lives, and all the little things that we choose.
Something that's like I've always come back to around this has been believing that people want to get to know me, and so if something's more true now, then people will love to hear about it. That's been
That's a deep one. Yeah, I like it. We have so much conditioning and so much patterning that's the automatic thing, and it's usually the thing that's trying to protect us from some old thing. So sometimes it takes continually like reminding ourselves of what we desire now instead of what was, and it sounds trite, but it's the mindset work. It's coming back to it. It's like, and that actually forges new pathways, new neural pathways, and it's just keeping up with it. Consistency. Yeah, I am amazing. Yes, I am amazing. I am amazing. That type of thing. Yeah, I'm amazing. So
Man, it's so I'm so glad you brought that up, because I've totally, I feel like if I had told myself before, I don't know 10 years ago, let's say like 10 years ago, that like we can believe anything and it'll become true, like I would have, like, I think I would have like understood it as like new age bullshit, or like that would be nice. But like then from actually doing consistent thought work and belief work and being like, oh, you suddenly do believe it, and then it just like it happens, and then you're not surprised that it's happened. It's really cool.
Like, oh yeah.
The most recent one I've worked on, or like that's been like I've had to revisit, is this shit is so good. As like a teaching or like a sharing activator. It's like, it's so good. I'm so excited to share it.
That is great. I'm gonna steal that.
Steal that from me, you guys.
Okay, thank you.
But I can feel it, and like it but it was one of those like 50 to 80% to 100. It wasn't ever like believe it.
Yeah.
And those are the easiest ones. If you can get to like that 50 to 70% to 80 to 100, like it goes so fast.
Yeah. I have another one that's even more like general. And if anyone's like see me driving down the road, just like really like what's that crazy woman doing driving? But I'm like, I do something called setting the energetic template, and I'm like, yes, oh my God, that was fabulous. Oh my, I can't believe it happened like that. I have no idea what I'm talking about when I say this. It's just like I'm feeling all of this excitement in my body, like, man, I can't believe that happened. And I do that for like 2-3 minutes, and then wow, that feels great. And then I'm like, ooh, I wonder what's going to show up that matches that feeling.
Oh, so fun. That's fun, because I've done that in relation to specific goals, but I've never done it in relation to like nothing. That's
just fun. Nothing. Just do it to nothing and then see what shows up. I know.
Yeah. What has shown up?
Well, I had been doing that for a while, and then the girl the TikTok who has the followers, she like texted me one night, I think it was like a week after the Reiki retreat. And she said, hey, sorry it's late, but I just want you to know that I posted this video on TikTok and it's going viral. So people might be like getting into contact with you. And they freaking did. I mean, it's like my Instagram doubled, and she was like naming who I was like in her comments. I didn't have a TikTok, so they couldn't like go, I got a TikTok real quick. And so that I had like people like sign up for the Reiki weekend. The next one, I had people contact me just for just energy healing. And it was just like, oh, I couldn't have seen that one coming. I did not see that coming. So that was pretty cool.
Probably your invitation to TikTok.
I know. Now it's like, okay, visibility issues.
So, that's one. The visibility one is definitely something like you just go over and over and over again, because like you might get comfortable like talking to 10,000 people, but then like what about 100,000 people?
I know. It's like, oh my gosh. Yeah.
Okay, so as like a final question I love to ask, what have been your favorite purchases recently for business and for pleasure?
Okay, so for business, I just got a MacBook Pro. It's just amazing. It's
Yeah.
so amazing. I love it. I've been a PC girl for like 20 years now, so
Wow.
yeah, it's like learning a new language. So, but it's so much more intuitive. So I love that. Yeah, and a personal one. Yeah, I bought a Porsche in August.
Oh, that's a
So
one.
that was a good one. Yeah, it's nice.
Are you
And
still loving it? It's been a few months now then.
it has. Oh
It's
my
still
gosh,
front
I
of mind.
really do. I love it. Yeah, the money thing we were talking about, and it's more like, am I worth it? Which has been like all my life. Oh, am I really worth it? Am I worth it? Yes, I am. You know why? Because I like it, and that's reason enough. So
No, I love that. I think you and I have
yeah.
personally talked about this because I'm a training buyer. Like I love buying courses and trainings and investing
Mhm.
in coaching and investing like the whole like mental thought magical side. I'm like so comfortable investing in, but then like getting a massage or like getting a new
Yeah.
car or like getting a house cleaner that comes once a week. Like those are
Yeah.
things that are such a hard time even now. Like it's like a constant like how can I upgrade? How can I upgrade? How can I upgrade? Because just
Right.
this one area I'm so comfortable in and I spent a lot of money in. And then this other area I'm like, why the fuck am I not?
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
I love that.
Yeah.
You're on top of
Yeah.
it.
And it's just like, you don't have to justify anything to anyone, even yourself. I mean, if it pleases you and it doesn't hurt anybody, why not? You
Yeah.
know? Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
Those are very fun purchases.
It was good.
Okay, so where can everyone find you, Teresa, on the internet? Or
Ooh.
like, what are different ways that they can work with you if they're interested after hearing like the stories board?
Yes, absolutely. SoulJourneyPriestess.com is the website. At Soul Journey Priestess on Instagram, soul.journey.priestess on TikTok. I offer one-to-one coaching. Let's see. And I'm so excited that January 2nd, I'll be having an 8-week course that includes Reiki 1 certification, which is about self-healing and self-care. And then 8 weeks of how can we bring more trust and intuition and self-love into your daily routine so that you can set that template for the rest of the year and just like have a phenomenal year. And I did it 8 weeks because generally after Reiki 1, there's about 21 days where you're getting through a lot of energetic blocks, right? You've released and shifted and all of that, and I wanted that container so that people can go through that in a place where it just is amplified and is a loving place to have that happen. And I'm so excited to see like what happens because so much has happened with everyone in my 2 days. So I'm like, okay,
8
what would
weeks.
happen, because there's this really cool thing, when you're in a group with people, especially like-minded people. It's like a hive heart. It's like you expand, they expand, and it's just, I'm excited. So look out for that.
I have a question about that. It's
Mhm.
why should people prioritize self-care? Why is that actually important?
Well, I feel like your first allegiance is to yourself. If you prioritizing love for yourself and acceptance and taking care of yourself just allows you to live more fully and to share with other people and to learn that it's okay to be selfish, not in like, a mean mind kind of way, but taking all those parts of yourself that you've that are out there as you were worrying about other people's thoughts and feelings and actions, taking that all back into yourself. Empowering yourself in that way allows other people to do the same. And just, yeah, oh man, self-love. It's a priority. Love you first. Love you first.
Well, thank you so much for being on the podcast, Teresa. It was so fun to have you here and chat with you. It's been a while since we've talked, so that was so fun.
I know.
And do you have any final words of wisdom or messages for people listening?
Oh my. You're all wonderful and perfect just the way you are. So, yeah.
Take that to your day, everyone. Bye.
Bye, Sam.